everyone. It's Professor López from STSC Transitions to College Success. Thank you so much for coming in for the first day of class this past Saturday. I really enjoyed getting to meet all of you. Now, I did notice that we did have quite a few people out, so I'm not sure if people forgot that they had a second 8 weeks course, or if some sort of emergency came up and I didn't receive notification about it. But just as a reminder, class has officially started, and I have you guys every Saturday all the way through December 7th, okay? Now, I did check my email. I did receive a couple of emails indicating that some people had some family emergencies or they got called into work, and that's fine. Just be mindful that since the class only meets 7 days and we lose 1 week due to Thanksgiving, that whether you're in class or not, you still have some assignments that are due. So on the first day of class, in case you weren't there or you need further clarification, we did go to the Reading and Writing Center to make sure that you guys were aware of those resources, as well as making sure that you could actually log into the system where your assignments are housed. That's MyTCC, also known as Blackboard. It's the same system. It's just we use the names interchangeably. All right? So that's what I'm going to walk you through, and I'm going to show you where your assignments are. You have 4 homework due dates. They're all Sundays. I like consistency, and everything for the entire course has been posted already. So everything through December 7th is already up and ready to go. The only exception that's not up would be your midterm and your final exam, because you have to take those in class. Okay. I also want to clarify too, just because your work is up there in advance and you're allowed to work ahead, it does mean that you still have to come to class, because we do have in-class activities we're going to be doing. We have guest speakers that are coming in, and attendance does count. Our district policy states that, we have a 15% attendance policy, 15% attendance. So if you miss more than 1 class, since our class only meets 7 times, then technically me and your other professors, if it's an 8-week course that only meets 1 day a week, you can be removed from the course if it's an unexcused absence, meaning you've gone AWOL and we have not heard from you. In my case, as long as you communicate with me and I know what's going on, then I can work with you. We just need to make sure that your assignments are turned in on time. Alrighty? So you're welcome to follow along with me on your computer, like your desktop, your laptop, your mobile device, and I'm going to show you how to log in and where your assignments are located, alright? So give me 1 moment. I'm going to minimize my web camera, and I'm going to go over to open up my internet browser. All right, there I am over there in the corner. So I'm going to use Google Chrome for these purposes. That seems to be the internet browser that tends to work best with our assignments, and the one that seems to be the most compatible with MyTCC. I've noticed there's some glitches with some of the other internet browsers that are out there. So if you open up a new window in Google Chrome, that will launch your internet. And then from there, you can access our course page. If you've already gone to it, then you'll have MyTCC saved. If this is your first time logging in, then you'll just type in my.tccd.edu into the search bar, and it will pull up the page. It may prompt you to log in. In my case, I'm already logged in, so it might not ask me for my login credentials, which it did not. It saved them in this case, since I was just in there a little while ago. Okay, so if you direct your attention to the middle where it says My Courses, right here, this will show what your particular courses are. So in my case, since I'm an instructor of record for particular courses, that's what it's showing for me. You'll also see links to things like your #NotAnymore video, which you have to complete before you register for spring. There's a link to your MyTCC email account. So that's where we send out your campus information versus your personal email, as well as your WebAdvisor account, which houses all of your student records. So WebAdvisor, your email, and MyTCC Blackboard all have the same username and password. So you change it for one, it's going to change it for everything. That's also why I had you all make sure that you could log in on one of the in-network computers, because same thing, all those passwords have been synced. All right? So for just example purposes, I'm going to use the morning class to show you guys where everything is on the menu bar. So I'm looking at class 42150. Afternoon class, your 42170, but the setup is the same. Okay, and then you just wait for it to open. There it goes. Just thinking about it. Okay, so what you'll do is you'll direct your attention over to the left side and you will see a menu bar that includes announcements, other tabs, as well as your homework assignment due dates, right? So I'll walk you through what each of these tabs are briefly, and then we'll get down to what your homework is that's due this Sunday and how that needs to be submitted, all right? The first tab we're going to look at is your announcements tab. So anytime I have a group announcement that I need to send out to everyone, I typically post it here and I send a copy to your school email. So that means if you delete the email by mistake or you misplace it, if it's something that was sent out to the entire group, it's going to be in your announcements. You can't delete that section. I'm the only one that can go in there and actually take it out. So it will be there. So you'll see that's where I posted the reminder that you guys had your first day of class. So I indicated where you purchased the textbook, what the name of the textbook is, how much does it cost, what you need to bring to class, so like your course materials, how to contact me, all that good stuff. So I put it in writing, and I also posted a YouTube video that showed you what everything looked like. So if you haven't had a chance to visit the video, to view the video, then you'll want to click it here. If it doesn't work in the embedded file, then you can just copy and paste the URL right here into a new tab or window, and it should open up right away. And since it's on YouTube, it is mobile friendly, so you should be able to look at the video on your phone or tablet, all right? So you'll see that information there. I told you the start date, the time, the room location, what to bring. There's your book information. Here is your link to purchase the textbook. If you recall from the first video, I also mentioned that in case you have not purchased the book, that we do have copies that are available on electronic reserves in the library that you can check out at no cost. And then in the other announcement that I sent out is I sent you guys information about accessing Microsoft Office 365. So don't go and pay for that because we've actually already paid for it for you. So what you'll want to do is you'll click on this link on the device that you would like to install the software on. And then you'll see right here, it's going to open up. And then you'll put in your entire school email address. It must end in edu, so that way they can go ahead and scan and make sure that they recognize the school. And then what it's going to do is it's going to prompt you through accessing Office Online. And then after that, you just have to keep clicking through so that way you can download the material, like download the software to your computer or mobile device, and you are given 5 licenses. So you can put it on 5 different devices. So yeah, save some money there, all right? Then when you go back up here, your grades will be under the My Grades tab. So thank you to those of you guys that have already started turning in your work early. You should start seeing your grades start to populate in the system. So if I've already received like your My Plan 1 and 2, and I've already graded it, then you will see a grade for that assignment. Your quizzes, if you've started on those already, since they grade themselves and they're automatically programmed into the system, you should be able to see your grade right away. Okay? If it's not working and you cannot see your grades, I need to know that this coming Saturday, so that way I can get a hold of Blackboard's support and to see, you know, what's going on, why are the grades not syncing. Okay? Tutor 24/7, remember that the Reading and Writing Center staff mentioned what Tutor 24/7 is, and it's a tutoring service that's available through a third party, but it's at no cost. Just be mindful that if you're going to use them for tutoring, that you may have to give them 24 hours lead time. It may not be instant tutoring, like if you have a paper or research project. or some math work that you're doing. Your course evaluation is going to be completed here for the end of the course. So what elements were helpful to you? What elements would you like to see us add? Those different types of things. That's where you get to kind of voice, yes, I like this element of the course. Can we spend a little bit more time on this? Should the course be longer? Things like that. Because our supervisors do read that. They take that into consideration. And that feedback is also really helpful for me when I see it. Then your course syllabus, also known as your ICR, is up here as well. So what I did is I copied and pasted a version of it in line with the text, and I also attached the document as a PDF in case you do not have Word, so that way you have access to it. So again, there's the course information. The attendance policy is in here as well. How you're going to be graded for the course. So again, this formatted kind of weird, but on the Word document it looks fine, or the PDF it didn't jumble up. So for this course, you need a 70 or above to be able to register for your next course and everything like that. Failure to get a 70 or above means you need to retake the course. Okay, so we don't do these in our developmental courses in STSC. It's got to be an A, B, or C, which for us, in our case, is 69.5 or higher, because I ran that 69.5 up to a 70. If it's anything below that, then that would mean you need to plan to retake the course, or you need to retake the TSI and test out of the course. Okay, you'll see our grading breakdown over here. So homework, classwork, and quizzes make up 40%. Your scavenger hunt activity makes up 15% of your assignment, 15% of your total grade by itself. It's one assignment. Your 2 exams that you have are 25% total. So not 25% apiece, they're 12.5% apiece. And then your 4 My Plan activities are 5% apiece for a total of 20. Meaning, if you don't do that activity or you don't do the scavenger hunt, it's very difficult to pass the course. Even though it's like, well, I only skipped one thing, it's still a pretty heavy hit. All right? But what we did is we kind of made sure that the tests don't weigh as much in case you're a person that has testing anxiety, or that test is not a true reflection of what you can do. Then you still have the opportunity to be successful in the course and even earn an A, even if one of your tests does go a little weird. Okay? Important dates are here, such as finals and all that good stuff. Our plan for the course, contact information, stop before you drop, and the Title IX statement is all here as well. Textbook information is right here. So remember, I passed around the textbook at the end of class last Saturday, but this is the textbook information. This is the ISBN number that you'll need for the course. It starts with 978. It's the number that is just above the barcode on the back of the book. For our course, this is the price range for the classes, like if you're buying it from our in-house bookstore. So whether you're going to rent it used, or buy it new or used, or if you're going to go with the e-copy, that's what the price range is going to be. Brand new, it shouldn't run you any more than $50, with tax and all that kind of stuff. If you start seeing it online on Amazon, eBay, Chegg, Cheap Books, and it's like $60, then go ahead and order it from us in-house. I also did put out the word to my previous classes that were here for the first 8 weeks to ask if anybody in those classes wanted to sell their textbook. So I am waiting for people to reply to my email and to see how they would like for you to contact them directly to purchase the book from them. I know I had at least one student say that she would go ahead and she would sell her book. So they might come by the class, or they might provide information for you to contact them directly. Again, you're not restricted to buy the book from our from our bookstore, but just make sure that it is edition 2, and just watch the price and watch the shipping dates, because again, you have homework due on October 27th, so you need that book to get here in time for you to read your 4 chapters and complete your 6 assignments. See, and there's a picture of the book. There's the back cover, complete with the ISBN number. And then I did an attachment of the textbook information as well, just in case you cannot view the images. Important dates are right there. That have to do with when classes started and all that good stuff. The classes overall for the second 8 weeks, which would include Friday and Saturday. And I apologize that they are testing our sirens right now. So hopefully you guys can't hear that, but I'm going to keep going. What you're going to see in your next tab is the STSC class assignments checklist with due dates. What is that? That is your document that walks you through every single thing that is going to be due for the entire course. It's a complete list of your homework assignments, your quizzes, and it's going to give you a breakdown of the class assignments that we have too, the in-class assignments. Okay, so what you'll do is you'll click Enable Editing after you download the document. And then you can see all of the assignments here. So I've typed out all of the dates for you. So October 27th is your first set of due dates before midnight. So you can do your homework anytime between now and that day. What's going to happen after that is if you try to go into a quiz after midnight on Sunday going into Monday, is it's going to automatically submit or it's going to shut off. So they're programmed to cut off at that time. Meaning you got to give yourself enough time to get it done. So this is why I really want to emphasize you may not want to wait until Sunday to try to get 6 things in and read 4 chapters. That's a lot. But if you spread it out over the course of the week, then it's not too bad because the assignments are not time consuming. There's just a lot of them that come from our department. Your next round of due dates is going to be Sunday, November 3rd, followed by your midterm that's going to be taken in class on Saturday, November 9th. So that's going to cover chapters 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 9, 11, and 13. This is supposed to say 13. It's programmed in properly. I'll just have to fix that. That's why we have electronic copies of everything, because that way I can just go in there and I can fix it really quick and you're good to go. So see, that should say 13. Then here you'll start seeing your in-class assignments. Notice the week of the exam, I did not assign any additional homework for November 10th. Okay, so that way, I personally don't like giving you guys a test and then you have like 6 homework assignments due the next day. So this is going to give you a little bit of breathing room to kind of get caught up and to get prepared for for the second half of course with the next 7 chapters that are going to be due between now and the first week of December. So then your next homework due date is going to be Sunday, November 17th, and your last homework due date is Sunday, November 24th. And there's a list of those assignments right there, followed by your final exam that's going to be taken on Saturday, December 7th over chapters 5, 7, 8, 10, 12, 14, and 15. So 7 chapters this time, so it's not comprehensive. I made your last homework due date November 24th, so I kind of condensed it a little bit because I wanted to give you guys the week of Thanksgiving. I basically wanted to give you guys the week off for Thanksgiving. So I know people tend to travel, go out of town, spend time with their families and all that good stuff. I know it would be really tight for you guys to try to get those assignments in during that week. And I don't want to start any Thanksgiving debates or holiday debates because, just like you guys, I will get fussed at by my grandmother who's about to be 90. Like, why are you working on this? You're supposed to be spending time with me. So that's going to give me time to spend time with my family as well without them getting on me too. So that's going to help you guys out. So you will not have anything extra from me. That will be your time to get ready, enjoy your family, and prepare for your final exam for our class. All right? Fair enough. So if y'all can keep up with doing the pace and continue working ahead as some of you have already started to do, then we're going to keep it that way, all right? That is my gift to you for the holidays. And I gave you guys this particular document I'm just going to minimize it. I gave you all this document because even if you do have the app for Blackboard, what sometimes happens is the assignments that are programmed in will generate reminders, but the external assignments that we have to physically attach to the system, like if it's a document like this, like a Word document or a PDF, it doesn't always capture those. So we did have some issues with that where people were like, oh, wait, I thought I had 4 assignments and they really had 6 due because the other 2 were external assignments and they didn't get a reminder about it on the app. But it was on the paper and it was on the reminder that I emailed to them 4 days before everything was due. So they didn't, I don't think they fully read my message, or they didn't check the list. They were just completely trying to rely on the app, which technology is great, but it's not 100% foolproof at this point, okay? Then what else you'll see, let me see, I included some scholarship and grant information since it is almost time for you guys to register for classes. Priority registration is going on right now, and many of you will be cleared to register as of Monday of next week. So I know some of you guys literally just started school, but it's already time to plan your spring 2020 classes. So as soon as you guys get the class, we're going to hit it hard and heavy about what your game plan is if you haven't already registered. Okay, because I think the bulk of y'all, if you're brand new and you don't have any credits, you should have received an email that's going to either clear you for this Sunday or this Monday, the 27th or the 28th. Okay. I also included a dictionary of vocabulary and phrases for our English language learners. So at South Campus, as I shared with you guys, I am the advisor for the ESL and the ESOL program. So I have a lot of students that are learning English. This may be their 2nd, 3rd, 4th, or 5th language that they're learning, which is impressive. And I want to make sure that that terminology that comes about in our exams is clear. So anybody's able to look through that document, but it is keeping our students who are learning the language in mind. From there, you also have a direct link to email me. I also sent you an email as well, so then that way you have that information available to you. Here is where you're going to see your homework assignments. One thing I didn't mention is if you cannot see this strip on your computer or mobile device, notice when I hover right here, it says hide course material. Sometimes when it opens up, that menu has been collapsed. So if you're on a computer like I am, like a laptop, then if you just click the arrow, it's going to expand it back out. On mobile devices, like on my phone, this little strip right here is actually a turquoise color, so you just have to actually touch it on a touch screen so it will expand out. But that's how you're going to access your work. That will actually probably solve about 95% of your tech support issues. So here's what's due for week 1. So what I did is I provided you guys with an overview of what you ideally should know how to do after reading over chapters 1 to 11 and 13. Again, it skips ahead. Not sure why they decided to do it that way, but hey, we're going to roll with it, okay? It's going to walk through the assignments that you guys need to get done. And then for your MyPlan activity, so if you have not ordered your textbook or it is still shipping, you do not need the textbook to complete this activity. This is one you can go ahead and you can work on now. I want to strongly encourage you to go ahead and knock it out. It is something that I have personally done. I did all 4 parts of it, and it took me about an hour or so to do it. You know, you've got a couple of days to do just the first 2 parts, and you've got a whole nother week to do the next 2 parts. So I'm telling you, it really doesn't take a tremendous amount of time. And if I were you, I'd probably just go ahead and sit down and do all 4, get them all done, turn it in, and then 20% of your assignments, 20% of your grades already taken care of. It's done. So what it's going to do is it's going to take you to a third-party website, myplan.com. The instructions are here for that activity. So ignore the dates because, you know, we were doing this activity earlier in the year. So it's going to say January and stuff like that on there. See, there's the link to get in. It's an external website. But the instructions for it are still the same. So it's going to give you a breakdown of what each assessment is, about how long it should take you, how many questions are involved, what the purpose of each assessment is. See, and then there's your instructions right there. You'll need to make sure that you have this group license code, because when you try to go into the MyPlan website, after you create an account, if you have never taken the assessment, it will ask you for a credit or debit card number. Do not pay. We have already paid for you. So that's why you're going to use the access code, and that will unlock the 4 tests you need to take: personality, interest, skills, and work values. Alrighty? See, there's your license code right there. If you go to the website, let me see if my link will still work. Then it should redirect you to the website directly. It looks like this. This is how you'll know you're in the right place. If you need to register, then it'll prompt you right here to create a free account. In my case, since I've taken the assessment already, then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put in my information to show you what it looks like, so that way you know how to go back in. So you only need to create an account once. So if you've already done part 1 and part 2, you just keep your login information so you can go back in and do part 3 and part 4. This is where it's going to house your assessments. They're right here: career, interests, skills, and values. And see, my results are over here on the left. After that, it totals up everything and gives you a composite score. So this is a snapshot of what my results look like. So for personality, I got ESTJ. So you see I got 87% extrovert, 13% introvert. On your activity that goes with this assessment, it's going to ask you about, your strengths, your weaknesses, those different types of things. This is where you're going to pull that information from. But I need a copy of this report as well, because it's date and timestamp, so that way I know that you did the assessment and you did the activity and answered the questions that correspond with it. Then right here you'll see sensor versus intuitive, thinkers versus feelers, judgers versus perceivers. Okay, how you would copy that over is you can just go in, and instead of printing it out, because I know on the instructions it says to print it, printing gets really expensive right now, so I'm okay with you guys submitting this particular document as a PDF or taking screenshots with your phone. That's fine too. I tested it out with my phone and it worked. But so go to the print menu, and instead of actually printing the document, click on Save as PDF. What that will do is that's going to allow you to save your exact results. Make sure you're mindful of where you save the results so you know where they are. And then when you're ready to turn in your assignment via email, then you'll know where to go. See, then you'll also get your interest report, your skills report. See, number 1 for me, engineering, which is interesting because I didn't become an engineer. And work values right here, as in what's important to you in a work environment. And then what's kind of interesting about it is it will take everything together. So it'll take your level of a desired education or education that you have. It's going to total up all 4 of these, and it will give you career recommendations based on the level of education, training, skills that you already possess versus what you're willing to get. And it'll try to fit you up with what looks like will be a good match for you. So those are my matches, my top matches based on my 4 reports and the level of education I already possess. And some of the training, certifications, all that other stuff I kind of have under my belt already. So that's how they determine if this is a pretty decent fit for me. Okay? So I'm going to close my plan. Okay, so what goes with my plan? So after you have done your assessment, so remember I saved my assessment already. what you're going to see over here is now there's an activity that goes with it. So I need the report, but I need the actual Word document that goes with it. The first attachment is a sample activity. See? The second, third, and fourth attachment, these are all the same document, but what I did is I saved them in different formats. So the one that ends in docx, that's the most recent version of Microsoft Word. For people that may not have Word, maybe they're using Pages or something like that, I put it in a PDF format. And then if you have an older version of Microsoft Word, I saved it in compatibility mode. What that means is you do not have to do all three versions. Do the one that you're able to open. Okay? So if you go in, you open it, then you know it's going to ask you to open the document. Enable editing. Please make sure you enable editing, so then that way it will actually save your responses. You're going to go in there, put your name, put your course, so STSC 0111, and the 5-digit number that goes after that, so I know if you're from the morning or the afternoon class. And then you're going to put in your responses down here. You're going to save your work. Again, make sure you know where you're saving it. There it is. And then what you do to turn it in is you're going to actually send it to me via email. Use your MyTCC email account. That's the one that we're supposed to answer and respond to, okay? Plus, in some cases, our firewall may not let some of your work through, like if you're sharing it from Google Docs or something, but if you're using it from your TCC account and you're using Google Docs, then it should come through where we receive it. Okay? So what you'll do, open up a brand new email. Then what you'll do, send it to me. You can either use my Gmail or you can use my Outlook. The one with the my is my Gmail account. The one without it is my Outlook account. Okay. So there's my plan part 1. Then what you'll do is you'll go down here to attach the files. So I know I put them on the desktop. There's the Word document. There's my plan results. Open. They're now attached to that email. And then you just put on there, sorry. Thank you, and then that'll be your name there. I would say send a copy to yourself, so if you want to copy yourself on it, then CC yourself on it so that way you know what I'm receiving. Send, boom, there it is. And then if I preview it, I'm able to open the document, I'm able to see it. See? And there's the results. Once I've received your message, so you see how quickly it popped up, then what I will be able to do is I will then respond and confirm that I've received your assignment, and I will confirm that I have entered the grade. So again, for my plan, I have to physically grade those myself and enter those grades into the gradebook manually. But for your quizzes, they should grade themselves, so you shouldn't have to wait for me. You should have a response right away. All right? So that's what you'll do for parts 1 and part 2. You can send them together or you can send them in separate emails, whatever you prefer. Then I included a PowerPoint and a video that goes with each chapter in this particular setting. So in that kind of blue-green type, that's your PowerPoint. So then there you go, it will open. So there's your written version of it. What you'll also see is a YouTube video where I did a voiceover because, again, our class is only 7 days, so I can't talk about 15 chapters in 7 days. But I did try to design our class in what we call kind of a flipped classroom method. Our math department here at the South Campus uses that. I use my own version of it where I provide you with the information from the book, like the PowerPoints, some lecture material and stuff like that in advance. So when you come to class, I'm not doing death by PowerPoint. I'm not up there reading the PowerPoint to you. You're coming to class with the expectation that you have already looked over and read those chapters. And what we're doing is application of that stuff. So what that means is you either have to order that book or you need to come to the library and read chapters 1 to 11 and 13 before you come and see me on Saturday. Ideally, that's the ideal situation. Because what we're going to be doing in class, we're going to have activities that relate directly to what has already been read. Okay? From there, you're going to have quizzes. So see, there's chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 11, chapter 13. When you open your quizzes, notice when they open, it's going to give you some instructions, and then you will see the word begin. Move myself out the way. You'll see the word begin. Once you click begin, your time starts. So the quizzes are timed for 30 minutes. They have 10 questions. The first few quizzes are multiple choice. Most of them are fill in the blank. What that means is you need to have the book in front of you when you complete them. So what it's going to be doing, it's going to ask you for a very specific word or phrase. If you see one blank, it's a one-word answer. If you see two blanks, it is a two-word answer. Hint, hint. Make sure you read the sentence carefully because it is scanning for that exact word. So watch your spelling, watch your verb tenses, and different things like that, okay, because that's what it's looking for. You are allowed to attempt each quiz 2 times, and what it will do is I will automatically keep the highest attempt. So whether your first or your second attempt is the higher one, doesn't matter. I will keep the best one, okay? And you have any time between now and the due date to do both attempts. But if you do one attempt and you try to wait until after the due date to do the second one, the quiz will already be closed out. Okay, so you got to make sure if you're going to do everything 2 times, do it before it's due. Alrighty. The last note about the quizzes is you want to make sure that you do those from a desktop or laptop, because what I've noticed is with the mobile devices, the quizzes tend to lock up, and it just depends on the phone. It depends on the tablet. There's also been issues with the Google Chromebooks. We're not sure why, but I have noticed that they will lock up. The way I know that they lock up is because on MyTCC, I can see when you guys log in the gradebook, like each time you access it. For your individual assignments, I can see the date and time that you log in. I can see the duration, like as in how long you spent on the assignment, and I can see what time you logged out in addition to your responses. So I'll know, if you were only in there for 30 seconds and the test closed out on you. Chances are I'll probably see it before you do, because a red flag for me is like, well, how are they getting 20s and 30s on their quizzes and they've been here every day? Then that's going to prompt me to go in there and go look a little bit further and see what's going on. And if I see a bunch of blanks, going toward the end of your paper, then I have an idea of like, okay, well, they were only in here 30 seconds. It says it right here. It must have frozen. So let me know. This is the other reason why you want to go ahead and do this early. So then that way I can go in there and I can make those adjustments for you before the due date. So then that way if a quiz freezes up on you, then I can go in there and I can do my magic behind the scenes to go ahead and get it working again. Alrighty? So that is the gist of what you need to know. Remember, the quizzes will automatically submit when you're done. You'll push submit and it will go in. It's just the My Plan 1 and 2, send that to My TCC email using your TCC email account. So My Plan 1, My Plan 2. The results from the My Plan website, and I need the Word documents. I need both. If you're using a Mac, before I forget, I know people that are using Apple products, you might be using Pages. There's a feature on there to export those files to Microsoft Word. So make sure before you submit them that you export them to Word, or you convert your results to a PowerPoint. I mean, not a PowerPoint, a PDF. Ideally, I would have you export them to Word, because if I need to give you feedback, then I can type right on it. Okay, versus if it's a PDF. Some of them I can change the format, some of them it won't let me. I'm one that will tell you and confirm that, yes, I've received your assignment and I can open it, but there are professors here that, it won't be counted on time for some people if they can't actually open the file. So that's why I was suggesting you want to copy yourself on that email, save a copy to your device that you're working on. You're welcome to bring that device with you to class this coming Saturday so we can test it out and make sure that it's actually working. We have had instances where people did their work and I couldn't open it, but I saw that they turned it in, and I was able to show them how to convert the files so I could get it, or they had it on a flash drive and they gave it to me, and I was able to put it on my computer and grade it for them. So there's workarounds. We can do that. I can show you how to convert the files. There were some instances where people thought they typed in my name right in the email, and they did all the work, and they were like, well, I'm not getting any responses from her. So yeah, if you're not hearing back from me after every single assignment, that means I haven't gotten it. It hasn't made it to me. It's in your drafts, it's in your outbox, or you've put in my email wrong, or something's wrong. Okay? I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I think that's the gist of what you guys need to know between now and next class. We do have a guest speaker coming in, one of my counterparts, again, to get you guys all geared up and ready to register for spring 2020. So we got to make sure your classes are in order, your money to pay for the classes is ready to go, and we'll roll from there. So until then, I will see you guys soon. If you are taking a class at the South Campus or in Fort Worth, feel free to stop by my office. I'm located in the SACA building. Remember, I am a full-time employee here as one of the academic advisors, specializing in academic foundations. So I'm here in the SACA building near Trio. You're welcome to make an appointment or schedule a conference call with me. I do have office hours that are between the morning and the afternoon class. So between 10:30 and I'd say maybe 12:15, that's the time on Saturdays that is dedicated to both of your classes. So I am free during that time. But if you're coming by during the week, you just have to email me, schedule an appointment. I can assist you with whatever questions you have about class, about registration, about financial aid, all things college related. Chances are I can probably address it, or I know somebody that knows somebody that can help us. Okay? Alrighty. So I think that's all I've got for now. So I will see you guys soon. And come ready to get after it on Saturday. And we'll see you later. Take care. Bye.